Map to greater success, you may want to listen to what I'm about to say. We have developed an online success platform that offers 6 critical tools for creating and implementing your success plan. If you're ready to turbocharge your personal development and success in every area of your life, it's time for you to join Team Cody Dog by visiting CodyDog.com. That's CODIEDOG.com. All right, we're here today on the 5-Minute Bark, and we've got Sergio Livingston from Jersey, everybody. Back east again. We are having some fun with all these East Coast people. Sergio, thank you for your time here today, and I'm so excited to be talking to you. And, you know, at 5 a.m. this morning, Sergio sent me some information on some videos he's done, and I was just so fired up. It's like it was like perfect calling for this episode here today. And one of the episodes was water becomes steam at 100 degrees. And we're going to talk about that forever today. And then plan A and plan B. And we've both literally made videos not knowing each other on these same subjects. So we're going to be going into them here today. So Sergio, first off, tell everybody the story you told me about yourself when I was walking Cody this morning. Tell everybody about Sergio.
Sure. So my name is Sergio. And the reason that I got into inspiration and motivation and wanting to walk the path of a life coach was really the birth of my son. And I have a 5-month-old. His name is Damien. And when I held him in my arms for the first time, it really resonated with me because I wanted to share the message of this is America. This is the land of opportunity. You can do what you want, be what you want, and really go after your dreams. And I really felt like I was being hypocritical if I wasn't following my own advice. And I didn't want my son to grow up and look at me and say, hey, Dad, why didn't you ever follow your own advice? So here I am, taking a leap of faith, as you've mentioned so many times in your podcast, when you have those hobbits and they have to jump over that chasm, and the pit is always going to be, never ending, but you got to do it. You got to take that leap of faith. And so for me, I needed that kick in the butt, and my son being born was the kick in the butt that I needed to say, hey, you know what? I want to live a life of fulfillment. I want to live a life of happiness, and I want to be that inspiration to my son.
So initially you were saying that how your wife is actually the one that actually kind of kick-started this whole thing for you, right?
Absolutely. So she had a conversation with me and she said, if you could go back in time and do it all over again, hit the reset button on your profession, what would you want to do? And I said, I'd love to be a guidance counselor because I'd love to help guide high school kids and give them education that they won't find out until they step into the real world. These are things that I didn't find out until I stepped into the real world. And I started thinking about it, and that was really the path that I felt was my calling. And it wasn't until the conversation with my wife, and she said, hey, listen, you know what? You could be a guidance counselor now. And I thought to myself, that's impossible. I don't have the education. I don't have the schooling. I don't have the credentials. What do you mean I could be a guidance counselor now? And she said, you work with a bunch of high school-minded individuals that really don't know about the world outside of high school. So you can mentor them. You can lead them. You can inspire them. You can be their coach. You can be their guidance counselor. And when that light bulb went off, I thought to myself, wow, there's definitely more to this, and let's start the journey. So my wife kickstarted it all. My son was the kick in the shins I needed, and here we are.
And now you're going to school to be a coach, and so you're striving to be this awesome coach that's going to help a lot of people out there. And I'm so excited that you are taking that path. It's really awesome to hear this. And so let's elaborate first on Plan A and Plan B, the video you talked about before. And I know I lived my life on Plan A, and I've been told so many times to have a Plan B. And honestly, a Plan B is very important for a lot of people. And but I, from a young age, chose to just do a life that's just a Plan A life. It's not a Plan B life. And of course, there's a lot of up and downs that come with that. There's, rags to riches stories that I can tell you all day long. But it's the life I chose. And it's one that makes me just filled with energy and filled with excitement, filled with, crossing the line and jumping over bridges like you talked about before. And so I want you to elaborate on that because I really love how you kind of told that story a little bit. That was really good.
Sure. So Plan A and Plan B. When we're children, we're always asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And we tell our friends, we tell our family, we tell our parents what we want to be. And somewhere along the line, someone says, hey, that's great, but. And that but is really what sets us back. That but is you need to have a Plan B. Well, I want to be a fireman. Oh, that's great, but what's your Plan B? I want to be a police officer. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a race car driver. Whatever it is, they always tell you to focus on Plan B. And when you focus a little bit of attention, even if it's 10% or 20% towards Plan B, you lose the focus from plan A. So what ends up happening is people start living their life in plan B mode or plan C mode or plan D mode, never really getting back to what their plan A was. So the focus, and really tying into your video about faith, was about when you have that focus on plan A, that's when you know you're going to be successful. When you're putting all of your eggs in one basket and saying, this is the life I want, this is the dream that I have, and there is no safety net. I'm willing to walk that tightrope without a safety net. And if I fall, I fall, but it's okay because I'm going after what it is that I want and what it is that I desire, what it is that I deserve. And so that's the whole focus behind plan A. And the great news is that every day you wake up, you have an opportunity to refocus on your plan A. Your plan A might change day to day, week to week, year to year. It's always negotiable, but at least you have a journey in mind of what that finish line looks like. And I always thought to myself, if you want to be successful, you need to make sure that plan A is at the top of your priority list. And don't spend any time really focusing too much on plan B, or else before you know it, you're going to wake up and you're living plan B.
That's right. You know, and in my episode, I called it supernatural faith. And the word I used is perfect in my sense, is because it has to be a supernatural experience for you. Because if you give 100% at something, sometimes it's just not enough. It has to go beyond that. It has to be a supernatural give it your all, right? Because like you said, people are telling you, hey, you're not going to be able to make it. You're 5'8". You're not going to be able to make a football team. And now look at the NFL. Some of the top stars are 5'8", and it's that person that just does not give up with a supernatural, I'm going forward, I'm not going to give up, giving up. But let's say you don't. Okay, let's just say you don't make it to your dream. I still would rather live that life because, I gave it my all. I can go to bed at night and be proud that I went and I did something. I tried my hardest at it. So I think it's a win-win for people. So I think a lot of people say, you better have a plan B because, maybe you may not make it. And they want, maybe it's like an insurance policy, or, nobody wants to get sued for saying that or something like, who knows about what's going on nowadays. But it's like watching football. You can sit there and tell exactly what the guy should do. He should throw the ball over there, but we're on the couch. We're not out there sweating. We're not out there with 100,000 people screaming and slipping in the snow and so on and so forth. We're not in the moment. But I'd tell you what, I way rather be in the moment. Right?
Absolutely. And the funny thing is the people that usually tell you about plan B are living plan B.
There you go.
Plan A personalities don't say have a plan B because they're living their plan A. So surround yourself with people that are going to support your plan A dream and support their plan A dream, because in this world, we need to come from a sense of cooperation and not a sense of competition. And that's the way that we're all going to rise up and live out what it is that we want to live in our plan A.
And what's great is it's awesome to be a plan B as well. And I'm not saying that to go against our plan A here today, but a lot of plan B people are the people that fund our creativity as entrepreneurs, right? They're the ones that have been conservative with their money and they've looked for investments, and they found that we are so incredibly in tune with our goals and our businesses that I gotta invest in that. So we need plan Bs. I always say, somebody told me this great thing. There's chiefs and then there's Indians. There's always going to be a chief and there's always going to be Indians, and they're both really needed in the dynamic. So those people that are plan B people, that's for them. The people like you and I that are plan A's, we like to jump off lots of cliffs and make things happen. But we're bringing fireworks to the world for the others, for the plan B's to watch, right? So it works really both ways. Is the conservative people are there to support us, and we're there to give them their dreams. So it's really a great dynamic that happens here with plan A and plan B. All right. So the other one here was water becomes steam. Tell us that one. I love this one. I'm just going to listen to you say this. It's great.
Sure. So when does water become steam? When can you change the chemical element of water into a gas? You can change a liquid into a gas, but something needs to happen. And what is that something, right? So to change water into steam, into gas, change the properties, it has to be heated up to 100 degrees. 100 degrees, not 98, not 97, not 96, 100. Once it gets to 100 degrees, it will start to become steam. And the metaphor that I used for life is that a lot of people are living at 99 degrees. They're afraid to turn into steam and to release themselves and their dreams really out into the world. So they stay where they're comfortable. They stay in their little pot of water, and they never really find out, how do I kickstart that extra degree? How do I go just a little bit more and change everything with what's going on currently in my life? So that was the tone of the video, was basically taking water, going into steam, 1 degree. Does it really make a difference? And the answer is yes.
Absolutely. And we talked about in Plan A how you have to take it to a supernatural faith. And what you're talking about there exactly is taking it to a supernatural level. Literally, and I had commented on this with you in this morning, like, okay, when it turns into steam, now the water's trapped in we'll call it plate, we'll call it bucket, whatever you want to call it, pan, but then it evaporates into the air and it's free, right? It's free to roam and do what it wants to do. So it's kind of like it's taking the leap of faith. I love this. I just love your thing here, but it takes the leap of faith and goes out there and it just goes into the world. And this is what it's all about. It's like going from, and he's really pointing out that it goes 99 degrees is a whole different thing than 100 degrees. And if you can hopefully understand one thing from him here today is that he's telling you this: 99 and 100. In other words, if you try something 99%, it's not complete. It's 100 that makes it complete. So I just love that. I just love talking about this one.
Yeah, it's one of the things too where when we go back to Plan A and we talk about the water and the steam, what ends up happening is a lot of people write down what their goals are. And that's great. They write down their goals and they have these ideas, and it's important that you write down your goals, and they write them down. And it's almost as if they take the paper, they crumble it up, they fold it, and they put it inside of a balloon. And they walk around with their dreams and their goals and their wishes, but they never let go of the string to absolutely let that balloon soar up into the sky. So they're just holding on to their dreams and goals, not realizing that if they were to release them out into the world, magic happens. That's when water becomes steam. That's when we start living Plan A. When we let go of that balloon and we share with the world what it is that we want and what it is that we want to go for, that's when we can see that transformational change. But until that time, we just walk around with the balloon in our hand talking about what it is that we want, never realizing how much strength there is in releasing it.
Right. And you had said, somebody had also mentioned that, okay, what if it happens, everything goes into air and it's steam? Well, I think I have an answer for that, because it's going to obviously come back down as water, because steam's going to just cold. It's going to turn cold and come back down as water. But what happens with us is we cannot be at a supernatural level all day long. It's just not going to happen. It's spurts that happen. It takes so much more energy out of your body. You're in the full now. It's an intense moment. I'm sure you've had that before. I know in sports I've had it happen many, many times where I'm in the moment, and it's a very, very powerful. It takes a lot of energy. 2 minutes of supernatural is like a day of exhaustion. It really is, So we don't really want to be in that state all the time. So we all think that, oh my God, I want to be in this natural high forever. You really don't. You can't handle it. You physically and mentally can't handle it, because it's a supernatural experience, right? It's your inner being probably enlightening into the world. So I think that, sure, it's gonna go out there, but it's gonna cool down. It's gonna come back down and be heated up again, and so on and so forth. So I just love that. It was just great. And I'm glad you sent that link to me in the beginning of today to watch that. So where do you go from here? What's in store for you, Sergio, coming and going forward? Are you going to start a practice? I know you're going to school. You talked about that. Where do you go from here?
Sure. So the name of my company, the name of my company is Inspired Livings. Okay. Which is interesting that you have something similar called Inspired Nation.
Right.
And it just seems like a perfect match as far as what it is that we're looking to accomplish. The name comes from simply my last name is Livingston, and I want to inspire people. So Inspired Livings is how it came about. And the goal, the dream, the Plan A is to totally immerse myself in this world of coaching. And if I was to mirror myself to someone that I respect and look up to, that would be a Tony Robbins. I would love to do speaking engagements. I would love to write books. I would love to host seminars and webinars and just really bring people into a world of Plan A personalities, and realizing that 100 degree, changing from 99 to 100, is all about realizing that you've got the magic within you.
Right.
Now, you might not realize you have it within you. You might not realize it, so you can talk to a coach and they can help you release that. Or you can talk to a friend, family members, but when you get to some group where everybody is thinking the same thing and you can tap into that magic and you can be steamed together, it's a wonderful place. And so the idea for Plan A is to completely take this Inspired Livings into a whole new realm and bring people along for the journey, bring people along for the ride.
This is awesome. Listeners, what you're witnessing here today is somebody who is going after his dreams. He's here right now. Obviously, he hasn't obtained them yet, but that's even better because he's on the journey. And I hope you get inspired by Sergio here today because he's really showing us like, hey, I found my dream. I'm going to go after it. And now I'm going to blog about it. I'm going to video about it. I'm just going to make it happen. And all that's doing is just adding to his dream and making it real. And that's how the 5-minute bark started as well, Sergio. So just so you know, I just kind of kept on putting it out there and putting it out there and putting it out there. And now I have Sergio on my show. So it just keep doing what you're doing and stick to Plan A. And I look forward to hearing that this first seminar went on water becomes steam at 100 degrees or whatever the title is going to be on your first one. So I'm really excited to hear about that. I want to know about it so I can promote it. So be sure to be ready to do that. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'll make sure to thank you in the book. And
no, you don't have to thank me. Thank yourself for reaching out. So that's what you should do. You should thank yourself for reaching out. I'm just here to help, and I appreciate you saying that though. However, I really do. But just you had to take that leap. You had to take that leap, and it's not easy to do it. It's not easy to do. You got a family, you've got a young child that just born, and all these different things. So I'm just trying to point out to listeners that we got this guy right here on the screen that's like taking action, right?
Sure, and it's interesting because we are always afraid that it's too late in life to make a move. I'm 34 years old, and I finally realized what I want to do when I grow up.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. It's so empowering when you have that clear consciousness that says, this is what I was meant to do. I have gifts, I have talents, I have strengths. We all do. And we owe it to the world to share those gifts, strengths, and talents with the world. It's not okay to keep them trapped up. You've talked about in your videos before how you would rather live a life of fulfillment, the life of passion, than to be 90 years old and almost living the same year over and over again.
Yep.
For me, it's one of those things where I've asked people, think about yourself, think about your life. And if the only thing that's changing is the year on the calendar,
yes,
then you've got to realize there's something else. If you look at a picture and you can't tell if that was 2015, 2014, 2012, you look the same, you're in the same house, you're in the same job, you're in the same relationship that you may not be happy with, then it's time to make a change. And people keep thinking, January 1st, that's the perfect time. January 1st, that's the perfect time. New Year's resolutions. Most New Year's resolutions fail because we don't know how to tap into that 1 degree and change water into steam. So how do we make 2016 different than 2015? It's all about inspiration and realizing the answers lie within.
I really noticed that everyone has no time for anything. They don't have time for themselves. They don't have time to do anything. The only thing they have time for is to answer the phone for their jobs. The only time they have for is to make a deadline at work. They don't make deadlines for themselves. They don't make time to call themselves or take time to walk with themselves. We are literally becoming a nation of robots that walk around and please a corporation or please others in the form of labor. And if there's one thing we both can do is just wake these people up and say, listen, you need some time for yourself, whether it's even 3 minutes. Give yourself. I have one of the clients I've been working with. I said, I want you to take 1, 2, 3 minutes for yourself in a day. And I'm pretty sure, I guarantee he has not done that. 3 lousy minutes to yourself. And people can't even do that because they're so busy. They're so caught up. They're so wound up. They're so spun around in circles in a hurricane, just running around, trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to do this, trying to do that, and taking on more than they can handle. I mean, myself included, I'm in that bubble myself. I'm running around, running a podcast, doing this, doing that. It's a lot, but I do practice. I do make sure that I take 15 minutes to walk my dog, and I just sit there and I walk my dog and I pat her and I appreciate her, and I take 15 minutes in the shower and I listen to a podcast and take some time for myself. So I do take action on that. So and the results are remarkable, and it really is.
It's important to do that, and we constantly use time as a crutch and not realizing that time is the one commodity that we have that we can't put a price on. So how valuable is your time? And the way that I share it with my clients is the analogy I use is the oven and the microwave. Everyone right now lives in a microwave society. If it's not done in 30 seconds or less, they're not interested. But think about the last time you prepared a meal. and compare the meals you make in a microwave to the meals that you make in the oven. Yes, you got to turn the oven on. Yes, it's going to take a while for that baked potato to cook. Yes, it's going to take a while for that chicken to cook in the oven. But when you have that meal come out of the oven, how much more satisfactory is that meal versus what you put in the microwave? And too many times we are so focused on, if I can't get it in 30 seconds, I've already lost interest in it. And my clients completely understand the difference between the microwave and the oven. And it's like, I want there to be substance. When you pull that out of the oven, the energy, I'm going to call it energy, not food, but the energy, because it's the food that consumes our soul. It's what we need to eat. And right now we're stuck in jobs. Too many of us are stuck in jobs where they feed their families with their jobs, but their soul is going unfed. And so I want you to be able to feed your soul with the energy that you get. And the mentality is use the oven, not the microwave.
Wow.
And there's plenty of time. Yeah, absolutely. So it resonates with people because so many people make their meals in the microwave when if you made it in the oven, and it's just easy to understand.
Listeners, you just heard something really, really valuable there. I mean, think about all the holidays. Think of those families that spend hours and hours creating an amazing meal. Now let's go and look at the table that meal is eaten at, right? I bet there's way better conversations. I bet there's no fakeness going on there at all. Everybody's throwing food across the table saying, oh, isn't this great? Doing everything to enjoy that meal. Whereas the ones that are too busy and they hire people to bring in the food, like you said, microwave it, I bet there's less of a concentrated conversation at that table because there's not enough appreciation put into it, right? There's not enough appreciation put into that meal or that time in your life, whatever. So obviously he's using this as an analogy, but I think that's a really good analogy to use. You have so many good ones. You should be a marketing expert.
Thank you. It's one of those things where it's also, if you go to the gym and you run on a treadmill for 10 minutes and you get off and you weigh yourself and you say, well, this didn't work, I'm never going to the gym again. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy, it takes commitment. And again, the microwave society we live in says, well, I drove to the gym, I got out of the car, and then I realized I left my headphones at home. So I got back in the car and I went back home. And we're afraid to sweat. We're afraid to work for what it is that we really want. We think that we can just manifest things and the world is going to give them to us. And yes, you can manifest things. And it's important that you realize that the world wants you to be happy, but you got to put in the work. You just can't show up at the gym, get on the treadmill for 10 minutes and say, that's it, where's my six-pack? I want a refund on this membership. You guys lied to me, false promises. No, it's all about putting in the hard work, and it's all about realizing that you have to be patient. There is no such thing as an overnight success. It takes a lot of hard work to get there.
Awesome. I'm ending on that, Sergio. I'm ending this on that. I can't say anything better. Awesome. Sergio, thank you so much for coming on the show here today and sharing with you my listeners here today. We're already past 20 minutes, if you can believe it. You're like, I just started. What are you talking about? We just started here. I'm just getting rolling. But this is awesome. I really am so thankful that you came on. If there's ways people can reach out to you and find you, is there any place they can go?
Sure. Excuse me. I'm on Twitter at Inspired Livings. I have a YouTube channel at Inspired Livings. I have a website, inspiredlivings.com. I have a Facebook page, facebook.com/inspiredlivings. And I'm really accessible and easily accessible. And I want to be able to help raise the consciousness and change the world and realize that there's life that you can be happy and fulfilled.
Awesome. We decided not to use Inspired Nation as our thing any longer. So if you want to go and take that, you're welcome to use that as well. We decided to go with Team Cody Dog because it kind of matched more what we were all about. So, but Inspired Livings, I love that name too. And you know how to find them, everybody. I want to thank our listeners so much for listening here today to both Sergio and I. I thought we had some great value bombs here that we gave the audience here today. And again, if you want to reach out to Sergio, you're welcome to do that. And if also you want to listen to more episodes of the 5-Minute Bark, just scroll right down on your iPhone and your iPad or your computer, and you'll see lots more great episodes like Sergio's here today. Thank you, everybody. And Sergio, thank you again. High five.
Thank you, my friend. It's a pleasure. High five.
All right. Good stuff. One critical thing highly successful people do is organize their goals and write them down. Success doesn't just happen to you, it's created by you. If you are ready to create a roadmap to greater success, you may want to listen to what I'm about to say. We have developed an online success platform that offers 6 critical tools for creating and implementing your success plan. If you're ready to turbocharge your personal development and success in every area of your life, it's time for you to join Team Cody Dog by visiting CodyDog.com. That's CODIEDOG.com.